to Percy in some way. A woman speaking Sylvan. She also revealed that she could help facilitate communication between the two, but it would be a kind of blood magic, essentially, ritual. This ritual would bring Percy to harm, and could even potentially kill him. But it would allow a bridging of the gap, so he would actually be able to be more aware of her presence and even potentially communicate with her. Unfortunately, where the remnant was concerned, she had a lot of... she did know about it, having apparently been in contact with, actually, of all people, Rodan, back in Arden Grove, who had apparently written to her several weeks ago, inquiring about its, learning more about its history and potential. But, as I said, unfortunately, this information is not quick at her disposal. It has been sequestered until an investigation into the propriety of her research is concluded. Apparently, there are some dramatic things happening in the political realm in Dalston. What she did know at this point was that this relic has the potential to be very old, dating back to the dawn of Bellamy, essentially. However, your introduction was quite rudely interrupted by a group of thugs identifying themselves as the Finders Keepers. Few among them seem to hulk out a bit, mutating into deformed, monstrous men, fanged teeth and red eyes, stretched skin. It wasn't long before you realized that fire damage was useful in damaging them. You don't actually know what could have happened otherwise. But although they do hit like battering rams, you did manage to wipe out the majority of the group with relative ease. Some of them did manage to get away during the scuffle. Survival instincts are maybe a little stronger with those men. So now we find ourselves again in Amelia's small cannery. Her translucent spectral form is hovering just slightly off the floor. She is sort of staring at her hands, flipping them up and down, like holding them up. Percy, you are the only one, it appears, in the room at the moment, and she actually will swivel her hand around and look at you through her palm.
Are you dead?
And she gets a sort of consternated look on her face. And tilts her head slightly, opens her mouth a few times, and a very breathy version, echoey, hollow version of her voice comes out, and she goes, "I don't know." And she blinks a few times. And then she cocks her head the other way. Almost a, like, reset of expectations. And gets the more considerate look on her face as she goes, "I mean, logically, I don't think I'm dead. I haven't departed a body." And she looks around just to make sure that's true. And there is no body at her feet. And she says, "No. No, this is likely some kind of mutation or adaptation of maybe a polymorph spell?
And it'll end eventually?
Oh, I have absolutely no idea. I hope so. I really hope so. And then everyone at this point, please go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Me too.
Hey guys, you guys ever seen these weird fucking ugly bastards before?
I'm inside.
I know.
Yes. Just now.
That's why I said before.
Ah.
Someone needs to listen a bit more. See?
Solus, where are you exactly?
Right here. I was eating that guy's nose.
I can't see you. Oh, you're there? Okay, I see you now. Okay, you're eating that guy's nose. Excellent. All right, so, but with that perception, you do hear, just so you know, there are footsteps shuffling around in this direction. Destrian, Lucius, you hear that as well. Destrian, you can see that there are two, maybe more. Very well hidden, but you can just make out like the maybe the shoes or the hem of a cloak or something like that moving around just out of sight, making sure just moving with very practiced stealth as they are approaching this way.
They threw like some alchemist fire and fired some arrows, if I remember correct, or some of that came from that direction, right? Or was it just voices?
Yes, I will say that it came from that direction, and voices. Yes, you did hear voices at one point.
Okay. Did they fire arrows, or am I misremembering that?
No, they did fire arrows,
Okay.
and they hit, if I remember correctly, this guy with both alchemist fire and some arrows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then pulling the arrow free from the body, he'll kind of just salute with it toward them slightly. As a kind of thank you.
That will sort of get their attention, and moments later, a group of people emerge from the trees and bushes that line this particular road. One person obviously taking a little bit more of a lead than everyone else, looking at you quite inquisitively. The whole group is dressed in very either light armor or clothes, kind of hard to distinguish at this point, but obviously meant for rugged wear, might be a good way to put it. It is well worn and remarkably sturdy for looking so cobbled together.
Got it.
This one steps up beside the one who had taken the lead. He's the only one whose face you can see quite clearly, and he has sort of a ready grin, half grin on his face. But he doesn't say anything, and he does stay about half a step behind this one, who has a hood pulled up, and at this distance you can probably tell he is wearing a full face mask. You can't see really anything distinguishing about him. The two other people behind him are obscured by the two in front, so it's hard to get any kind of distinguishing features.
Okay.
And they stand in place, and have a stance that, can I have insight checks from you two, please? And as you are doing that, Amelia, Percy, you see her head whips round. You guys don't get anything. You can just see that they're standing, they've got their arms crossed. And Amelia's head whips around, looking in this direction. And then she looks back at you, eyes wide, ghostly form, really not doing her any favors in the creepy department. And she looks at you and she goes, "Oh no. Please. You think you could... The guys who just showed up, could you maybe get rid of them, please, for me, please? Don't hurt them. Just ask them to go. Tell them I'm not here, please."
Okay, that limits my options, but I'll try.
I appreciate it. They're my only friends in the world, and if I lose them, I will have absolutely nothing left. And they just will not understand this. So I'm just gonna... And she just starts sort of floating, almost like she's panic floating. But she ends up drifting up into the rafters and pressing herself into some shadows.
Huh.
Destrian's just looking in through the window, like,
What?
kind of pokes his head back here and just goes, as Percy comes around, is everything all right?
She just... I think so. She doesn't think she's dead. She requested that we send the people outside away without killing them.
Well, boys. What do we have here?
I was rather hoping you knew the answer, Destrian will say, giving the one next to him a kick. Seeing as how you seemed so willing to pop an arrow into it. Not that its appearance doesn't invite it.
This one in the mask sort of nods toward the man to his right who steps forward. And he says, "Do you know whose turf you're on?"
He kind of looks at Lucius and the rest.
Lucius
Like,
points towards the trees.
I've never been here.
kind of just Lucius looks, or Destrian looks around and just goes, I guess not.
Well,
Mine. I mean, meow.
It's like a creepy meow that sounds like mine to them, right?
Mine.
they're all rolling. They're insane.
Mine.
It's an amongst
Did you actually say mine, or?
Mine. I'm good at this, don't worry. Mwah.
You are fine.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna roll. There's maybe a little bit of a stutter, but other than that, quirked eyebrow turns back to the, humans.
It's presuming a lot.
And that is presuming a lot. I happen to know better.
I'm a what?
An idiot. A bloody good one.
And he goes, well, maybe it's just best you move along. I don't think you have any business here. Friends.
Well, if I might ask, since you do seem to be the man to, who knows these things, whose turf are we on exactly? We are newly arrived in your fair city.
I mean, if you know, you know.
Yes, but I don't, see.
Then you best learn. But in the meantime...
You're a really shitty teacher.
I really wish you would have just went, man, you're an asshole.
I recommend that you see yourselves out.
We are outside.
To be fair, it is, and I mean this with absolutely no hostile intent, for your own best interest. And those of you who can see, I'm not even going to make you roll. You see this one walk up and sort of look inside, and then sort of give an assessment and then move forward.
Is it anyone else want to beat that guy to death with a hammer? Am I alone in this? Is this one of my dark thoughts?
Yeah, restrain it. That's a no-no thought.
Restrain it!
Well, really, he's not the only one thinking it,
That's an
but
intrusive thought. Open the door.
Destrian will just step forward and say, I'm afraid we do have business, legitimate business, I assure you, with the lady of this establishment. We certainly do not mean any offense, or, as you can see, wish her to come to any harm or her shop. In that, I think we have common cause.
At this point, this guy steps forward, and he says, what do we care about some stupid shop? This is our street.
bullshit check?
Bullshit check. I will say, by the way, because it was this person speaking, you are at disadvantage. He has a full face covering, and it's his mouth is even sort of muffled, so it's difficult.
Bullshit checks.
That's so sad.
That's so sad.
I mean, fuck it, I'll roll too, but I have another question. Oh shit, it was meant to be at disadvantage, but, well, I don't think of... do you want me to roll again to see if I get lower?
I mean,
Yeah.
15's decent.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
Oh,
Okay, 15.
God damn it.
I wasted 2 nat 20s on that. That was amazing.
It's okay. I
don't worry, I'm gonna get 7 more.
But Destrian, I will give you this. Like I said, 15 is decent, and based on the way he was looking in, and would have gotten a nat 20 if it was an advantage. I will give you. You remember something from the previous fight. Does anybody remember the voice that they heard? What specifically was said?
I just thought they were calling out her
Not
name.
I.
Somebody shouted out the name Amelia.
Yeah.
Can I tell if it was this chap or this chap potentially? Since I've heard both of their voices.
You
Was
know
it
what? Yeah,
masculine or
with 15, it was a masculine voice. And I will say with a 15, yeah, you did notice that it was muffled. It was likely this person.
Okay.
So yeah, bullshit check. Yes, he does know who this establishment is and is probably associated in some way with Amelia. And in fact, Percy, you knew it was bullshit anyway because she said that they were some of her closest friends.
Yeah, but she's also nerdy, so like I just assumed that was like, hey guys, can I sit at the cool kid table? Whatever, loser. Thanks, guys. Thought like that could have been a thing.
I'm being called out right now. That hurts, man.
Look at the token. I'm inferring a lot just from, these are clearly the cool guys.
Are they?
Well, then well, if that's the case, it shouldn't matter to you what business we have with her. I assure you that whatever dealings you may have or ownership claim, what have you, to this place, it is no concern of ours.
How'd you end up fighting off, and they just sort of gesture in the general direction of the bodies over here.
Cheating.
They started it.
With weapons.
Why'd they start
That
it with
too.
you?
I was rather hoping to ask the one we left alive inside.
Oh yeah, he is alive.
Interesting. And that gets everyone.
Oh man.
You don't say.
I'll be back.
I'll help you get him.
I'm also going with you.
Don't brag.
These guys see you guys duck around the corner and move this way.
Pull the thug.
As everybody's moving, Destrian, you feel as Solus jumps onto your shoulder, just silently, but you can tell he's like ready.
And he
In your
scratches-
mind, you just hear Destiny just go, "No, friends, not food."
Just
Could
give
be
me the
food.
signal. I'm ready. I see your plan. Whenever you're ready, just pull that trigger. Catling guns on the way.
Pull my devil trigger.
A great comfort.
And
Don't
then you just
close the door.
hear.
I didn't
Then
mean
you
to.
just hear when they get to this point, "Boss!" And this guy's head whips round, and he says,
Destrian's good.
"We happen to have unfinished business with these guys. Would you mind if we joined you?"
Lucius, hurry up.
I'm trying, but they're fucking heavy. Do I care about
By
his
the
weapons?
way-
I don't care about his weapons.
Destrian and Solus is still over there. Both of you give me insight checks.
Are we at disadvantage again?
No, you are actually giving me insight checks about this.
Okay.
Woo!
Solus.
Got him out of the way. You lot.
Ooh.
Solus, while Destrian is very busy engaging clearly the person in charge, Solus, you are looking at this suspicious motherfucker, and rightly so. As soon as Jack, as you can see his name is called, as soon as this guy seems to be wanting to cooperate with you, or potentially olive branch a little bit, he seems very annoyed. That was not the plan. Over on this side of the building, Percy, are you standing in the way of the door?
Uh-huh.
I'm dragging the thug outside.
Right. So as you stand there, and these two get closer, you notice that this is a young woman, probably late teens to early 20s at the most. She has a sort of round face and very stern expression. No humor at all. The one next to her is significantly shorter, but still appears to be likely human or half-elf. So you estimate he probably is no older than 12 or 14. Very small. Has a Arthur from Sword in the Stone kind of gangly appearance. Wiry. This one walks up and gets just a touch closer to you than polite company would usually inspire. Very much in your face and taking up quite a lot of your scope of vision as she does that. Give me a perception check.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Perception. How about a cha? 8.
Pretty hard.
All right, so how much my mark off? Does she steal my alchemist fire? I need that.
I'll kill a child. Don't make me do it.
I'll kill both of them
One
real quick on my own.
sec.
Oh, well.
Oh
Actually,
my.
that should have been at disadvantage, so one more time.
Well,
Sure about that?
oh, that's so
Still too
tragic.
high.
Ah, still beat him though. He manages to actually slip next to you with remarkable sort of deftness. You don't even see him until he's already started pushing open the door and is halfway through. He just slipped right under your field of vision. And so he gets there.
Can I try to grab him?
You can absolutely try to grab him.
I will try to grab him.
Go ahead and give me an athletics.
29.
Nice. I don't think he can beat that. No, he can't. You grab him, and you get a hold of his cloak. Right in there. And you can feel that this cloak is actually very much meant to tear away. Where he would just be able to slip out of your reach and sprint off if he needed to. But you got a much better grip on him than probably used to. So as he starts to try and do his shift out of your movement, he finds that you have basically grabbed him by the actual collar of his shirt and tugs. And she immediately takes a bow staff off her back and enters a very threatening stance, saying, "Release him!"
Hey.
That
And I will.
you guys over here can hear very well,
All three of
including
you.
this one and this one, who will start moving. And I'm going to move them 30 as you tell me how you respond, Lucius.
Lucius is dragging the thug. So he's going to hear that and be like, hey, all three of you fuck off and back up. As he's trying to drag him out the door.
Destiny
He
would be
is
moving with them.
worming in your grip, going, "Let me go!"
And I'm tossing him back out the door.
Can I move with this guy?
Yes, you can move with this guy.
Yeah. Back. Or we can play hot potato with the body. I don't care.
And as we are coming around, can Destiny say something to the masked man? Jack,
You have a good 6 seconds worth of material here. It did not take long for them to sprint over
Absolutely.
because it sounds like a fight's about to start.
Actually, I was rather hoping you might have somewhere more appropriate to have a chat. Of the kind we intend.
Us? Nah. We don't have a place to go. And this guy, by the way, you can hear, he's not even trying to disguise it. He goes, "What were you thinking? We obviously can't trust them." As they come around the corner and see you grabbing this guy and her trying to threaten you with a bow staff, this is about to unravel.
And me dragging a body. Yay.
Well, the body makes it seem like it's dead.
Jack looks at you, Percy, holding his Confederate, and says, "Drop him or lose the hand."
Let him go. She's asked not to be seen.
He's gonna need to roll an insight check here.
And if they do start like I'm still trying to block the door, but I'm trying to let Lucius get through.
It's like, hey, if you're coming in, Help pull bodies. There's only one more.
Mhm. Actually, Destrian will step in and kind of grab the other arm.
Get him out of here.
Oh, no, he doesn't know. All right, so yeah, he assesses you. He gives you an up and down, and he clearly doesn't believe you. He steps forward and he says, "She wouldn't refuse to see me. Get out of my way.
No.
Who the hell do you think you are?"
They're people who just
Doesn't
saved a
matter.
shop, I guess.
So, she said they were her friends. I doubt she'd wish us to come to blows.
I wouldn't dare. But I'm not moving. Yet.
Wait, she said we were friends? She told you who we were?
She's in a state that she doesn't want to be seen in right now. She asked that I
Is
make
she
sure you
hurt?
don't enter.
Not as far as we can tell, no. There's
Lucius,
some magic and smoke thrown around in the fight, but she says she's fine.
He steps back over here, sort of shouting into the window. And he goes, "Amelia, tell me you're okay." And
Lucius
there
just whispers
is-
over to Destrian, like, wait, what happened? Is she naked or something?
She's a ghost, I'll explain later.
What?
She died.
Not like a real one. She doesn't think.
Guys, I love that this is funny, but I'm gonna point out you are within 10 feet of these people.
He was whispering.
No, I mean,
Destrian
Lucius-
kind of leaned over.
Lucius genuinely didn't see anything. He's like, what the fuck? Like, what happened to her?
Oh, I'm just saying, I could legitimately give them perception checks, you guys.
No.
We'll keep it to the secret, Chad.
A remarkably long time goes by, it feels like. Probably only a few seconds, but as tensions are high, the time stretches out. But eventually a very soft voice comes through the window at a weirdly high angle that just says, "I'm fine, Jack, it's fine. They used a smoke bomb, burned my hair. And every part of this guy just sort of relaxes a tiny bit. And she goes, "Please go."
Now do you have anywhere that we can take this unfortunate?
I mean, that one's more unfortunate. He points at the dead body.
There is
Depends on what
a-
happens to this one.
There is a sort of brief, and that guy's been dragged over here now. There is a sort of brief exchange, but otherwise, finally, the masked man steps forward again and goes, "No, there's nowhere we can take you.
Oh, well,
If you
let's see
want
what
to
answers.
if you want to interrogate him, we just." You know what? We'll get our answers later. It's no big deal. Come on, guys.
If you insist.
And the people who are accompanying him seem like this is a surprise. Not something that they would have expected him to do or say. But he just sort of nods and he says, and then as they're on their way, he sort of turns and he looks at each of you and he says, better get your story straight. Guards will be here in about 2 minutes. If Sergeant Ziva shows up, tell him I said hi.
Do we want to try and get this guy away from the guards? Question him ourselves, or just hand him over?
I mean, I would personally like to figure things out.
You've got a little more than a minute.
And someone take him.
Are they gone?
Yes.
Aye. But Jack said the guard are likely arriving in a minute or so.
And she floats down and she says, the guard here?
That's what he said.
I don't think that can be true. Unless he told them.
I mean, he may have. Hey, if you want, just go ahead and put them right about here. Those are chickens. Is there any hay? As he seems to
They
just
are?
like lose thought for a moment. They're like hay and barrels and shit all over here.
I don't think I should go out there.
Hey, I mean, you're fine. But he's just going to place his body, like crumple his body up over here and just cast like minor illusion over him. Just put a 5x5 foot fucking crate or some shit there.
Okay, so you, hold on here. Let me see if I can do this.
Like a random pile of hay.
Alright, I have a bone pile.
Why would it be suspicious at all?
Wouldn't be suspicious at all. It's fine. I can make a bush.
Yeah, sure.
Let's hide the dead body with more dead bodies.
They won't be able to see the dead body for the pile of corpses.
If we only need to hide one, why not make a dozen and then...
Yeah, we don't care about those
They
ones.
won't know which one is which. It's genius.
There we go.
Incognito.
Well, if we do have some time, then let's see what we can find before they do show up. Care to give me a hand with this one?
Oh, here we go.
Like what? Taking off his hands or?
Looking in his pockets, you sociopath.
Oh! You're asking for a hand.
As we all gather around the bodies and begin doing our looting song.
Stand around the corpses and sing our...
Oh my god. No, that was embarrassing.
That was just bad.
Hey, Solace!
Like his cloak is all wrapped up around him, and Destrian just keeps on like turning him over, trying to find the edge of the cloak.
Hey, Bubby, help me with the rest of the fucking corpses.
All right.
Not this corpse.
Or I'll help you with the rest of the corpses.
That's probably better.
Because he's amazing at this.
I'm amazing at this.
Hey!
You're pretty amazing at this. All right. DC 19. Or roll of 19. Okay, there we go. So you take a great interest in the ones that mutated while you were fighting them. The ones who did go through that transfrac around sort of their face, drooping and exposing tendons and ligatures and things of that nature. Their teeth also remain sort of grotesquely protruded at odd angles. All of the dead men have handkerchiefs tied around their biceps with a symbol and the letters FK painted on them. As you're looking around in this area, this was actually where one of them started to first grow in size. And you notice in the street, around about where it started, there is some shattered glass fragments that appear newly broken. They aren't...
Do I recognize it? But...
yeah, actually, no, you... not only do you not, you feel like you have lived a life and you have experienced enough that this feels patently unique. That you've never seen this before.
Ah. Normally, I know all the different things you're supposed to put up your nose for some reason. I've got like a tier rating. I'll tell you about my S's later, but I have no idea what this is. Someone should lick it. All right, I'll do it. What does it taste like? No.
No, you must commit to the bid. Commit to the bid. Be the experiment we need you to be.
I have mechanics. We can do this. Do you want to?
Yeah, I already ate one of their noses. It's already happened.
You ate this guy's nose, right? He was not a mutated person. So...
Oh, he wasn't mutated. Okay.
No.
That means you gotta try this guy's nose now.